though.
A certain Japanese,
I'm more excited for Sky Oblivion than I am the Oblivion remake. That's rumored anyway.
Just absolutely carry you in like a certain stage of the game.
Star-Lord.
Nice, but you know, everybody has their metas for sure, and you can always bounce back,
Star-Lord?
especially for other teams that have
Star-Lord.
dropped out of the tournament already.
Star-Lord.
Which is an exciting part of this game. I mean, I think the thing about Rivals, which is just outstanding, is not only do you have to deal with all these unique heroes and playstyles, and honestly, there's just so many of them that are playable in the meta, like, which for in and of itself, I gotta throw credit that way, is awesome. But then you gotta think team-ups, you know, adding another element to the game. You gotta think about like all these new drops and heroes. They're willing to make sure that people are constantly up to date with all these new heroes and things are happening, and there's a lot of changes to the meta, and there's a lot of balancing. Like, I just think they're doing everything right, not trying to gas this up like over to the extent. I just truly
No one
believe
plays Storm?
all those elements lead to a very fantastic.
Storm is not in the meta anymore. Storm is out.
Instead of just there being a consistent comp that's just always good.
Yeah, I agree 100%.
I like playing Storm, but in ranked it's very different than this shit.
By the way, Star-Lord banned for FlyQuest as we devolve into other topics about meta and stuff. But I think that the developers, I could have got baited. Like this could be. Like
She's too squishy. Yeah, she dies fast.
Just like, you know, meme accounts or whatever. False.
She should get overshield when she hits her left clicks or something.
Said like we're focused on.
Give her a little juice.
Right? We're making sure the game is balanced to be fun, right? Not around the competitive players first. And by proxy, it turns out when you balance for the casual scene, you have a very interesting and in-depth competitive scene too.
Yeah, I kind of like that play. I mean, me personally, I was just like, oh, you know, it feels good competitively because you do see things just be so different in every single tournament, at least in terms of like.
He's walking so slowly.
One or two heroes that are now shining.
Oh
my goodness, energy again. Just gonna go down and take Kurova out. Gomez gonna be making the switch over to Psylocke, gonna find value there. Kurova gonna res up. We are gonna see that comp now with obviously not gonna.
This is the classic.
They did lock in and keep Kurova on the Adam Warlock, a very strong Warlock player. Kurova, a disgusting Warlock player. Haven't seen much of it yet, at least not the first two games. Kaluj gonna fall there from Gasklin. And Energy again gonna take out Aramori. Energy on these off angles inside the building. Just getting a ton of value.
Play Hella, please. Please, Sentinels, play fucking Hella.
Spawn camping. Gasklin is meleeing his old teammates. Maybe a little bit spice there, Shipster. I don't know. But FlyQuest, this first early hold is just working out for them right now.
Yeah, you know, it's not a horrible idea to hold this spawn door. I mean, you do have time to get back and get at least 2 more team fights just because of this angle of how this works. You get one more right at the very end, but then you also get one roughly under bridge when you have enough time to re-rest. Oh my goodness, Spark Chief gonna take out Kurova at the door.
Good awareness. Just to like know that he's there alone and then to push them together.
Stand on top of the point out in the open. They can just stand in the spawn door right now and fight him at this point. But hey, Zelos gonna pull a Kaluj right back into that and deal more damage. The meatball out. No connection. Gomez trying to find energy, not
what?
Wait, he got on the wall.
What?
Yeah, I thought with the
that is so lucky, dude. Oh my god. He's probably like, what the fuck just happened?
Yeah.
Here comes the strange alt.
You learn something new every day, especially when you're watching players of this quality. Immediately gonna get the Eye of Agamotto. Unfortunately, not able to get any value as they do pop the dance floor. Out goes the fate of both worlds again.
They used everything. Sentinels got nothing, and now energy's back. Gonna cause a fucking.
It's not, because down
they should still be able to win this, I think, right? Uh-oh.
Gaskin gonna fall from Gomez, and now Sentinels
no.
and forcing them back to their spawn. Sparkchief gonna take out Kurova. Gomez gonna take out energy back and forth, but still, with the reses very much on the side of Sentinels as they push through that first choke.
Wow.
So much time off the bank, though. To me, if this comp doesn't work out for Sentinels, Kaluj, by the way, going for a little bit of portal, counter portal.
Holy fuck.
That was genius. I like that. I personally always.
He's getting ready to sleep one if they jump through.
I put a portal under his feet and he felt. No, just put it over Strange's dome and take him out. Don't CC him because it's just going to stop it and burn the cooldown. Why don't you get a KO on him and burn his cooldown? Just put it over his head just like that. Get the cleanup and there you go. Right, amazing. Gonna press forward. Damage boost up.
So much damage. Holy fuck.
Aggressive Mantis rather than the DPS Kurova. Gonna throw out the bond.
What?
Get a pitch.
That was an accident.
Kurova is. See, this is what I'm saying. You can kind of match that Hella when you got somebody like Kurova on. Oh, here we go with the Warlock. And once again, out goes the Invis boundary. Not sure if there's a pick. Down goes Gomez early. Kalush does have ult, though. Are we going to see an Eye of Agamotto? That could be scary. It's out. Cooper going to pop this dance floor and keep team up. And here we go again. Just holding this point with 30
Big,
seconds on the clock.
big.
Yeah, light slam dunk onto the back line.
Braze,
Amazing
short
goal
rib.
after that 30-second
Thank
run.
you, Hannah.
I was gonna say, it's been good.
25 seconds on the clock.
If they don't win with this
Aramori has ult, Kurova has ult. There is a very good chance.
Is like that, honestly, straight up. Like,
There's
if
a
they
very
feel
good
like they're
chance
playing 2-2-2
that Sentinels walks
at a
us
high
in.
level and Sentinels are winning fights sometimes in triple strategists.
Unless Gasklin hits the nastiest. He's pushing it. He's forcing it. He's forcing it. Oh, that's so good. That's so good.
No way! Just shuts down this offense with a huge Eye of Agamotto. That was insane.
The momentum is just so much favoring
Well
Fly right now. I mean,
fucking
FlyQuest is
played.
just finding value
Well
in
played from
literally
Gasklin.
everything nonstop.
W
And I know
revenge
that's what it takes
to
to
his
turn this around, but it's
ex-teammates.
just, you gotta reset.
Wow.
I think they're kind of in a slump. I'm not,
FlyQuest. Sorry, that was just my nipples getting hard again. Sorry. For the people watching out there that don't understand why I say that,
Yeah,
It's
I mean,
'cause
I
it's
can
true.
see-
It
I
happens.
know why they do run it. I mean, obviously they scrim it.
it gets cold here in California. You know, it's 50 degrees right
I'm
now.
not a big fan of triple strategists anymore. I think teams have evolved and understood how to play around it now, especially playing around it so much
Proof?
last week. So many teams experimenting with triple
You dirty
strategists,
dogs,
Vanguard,
you.
Sentinels specifically.
Let's
and
eat my dinner.
Because of that,
Why,
and
like, watch
because of the
Sentinels get
changes
shit on.
recently, I just think that there's two
Sorry,
pieces
I
of it
am
now
saying that like I'm a
that play
hater.
against
I
it.
really, I want Sentinels.
I think they're just trying to find any way.
I want
not
Sentinels to
have
succeed.
match energy.
But at the same time,
you
a
know, like, I don't
FlyQuest
know, like, I
win
see a lot of comments
is
about,
pretty cool.
You know, Rye having to match on Hella
You know,
and stuff like
I almost
that,
dropped
and
all of my food on the
I
ground.
would like to see that, but I don't know. It just feels to me like they're just a bit intimidated, I suppose, by energy and maybe other teams. That
We
are
want
playing.
tits.
Yeah, I'm not sure what that is, right? I'm not sure what that is. If it's a mental block or something like that, like you're saying, or if it's just, they're practicing against it and they feel confident against it. Just, I can tell you for sure right now, energy.
We
is
want
getting value
tits,
out
it's
of it.
crazy.
That's all I can say for right now. I'm not, saying nothing else because I truly don't know, and obviously I'm not at this kind of level in terms of what they're thinking. But what I will say is they are going to be changing up comp a little bit here, and I do agree with you that on the side of Flight, they're just doing a good job shutting down supports during ults. I think over time, people have learned how to shut down support ultimates. I mean, it's strategist ultimates. It just really, it just took time to figure it out. It was so difficult at first, but there are things...
Don't call them supports, call them strategists, or you're fired.
Even doing things with Dr. Strange, Agamotto can take out Invis. There's
Good grab.
Gomez, speaking of that, Gomez, even right here, even when running the triple, you have that Wolverine that can do the same thing. Zelos going to fall there from Aramori. Sentinels doing a good job just retaking that, just trying to get their confidence back.
Good aim.
So far, great start to the play there. Now just kind of hold them like they did with you, and you guys can absolutely take this home.
Good aim.
No means over. Raimazing
I like the Namor pick.
going to be playing. I like this pick here by Raimazing. I do really think Namor's in a strong spot, especially when Aramori's going to be on.
I like the Namor pick big time. This is a good idea.
On the Luna. This is a really good combination for them. I think they're going to find some value. It'll help them battle that Hella a little bit.
Yeah, great analysis. I think now that they're on that 2-2-2 composition, they probably feel a lot more comfortable in this street space. And like you said, we've seen this before. We've seen Rad Esports versus Nightmare just go the distance in teams tie it up. So anything is really possible right now for Sentinels here on this defense, as they have to kind of match this aggression while making sure Energy's never in a safe spot. So they got to keep marking Energy, who's surely going to flank from the front line. There might be they have enough support and they don't.
Nice job there, an immediate pick. Taking out a Vanguard like that is a huge start to the fight. Dunked on. Smart Chief's going to be taking out Kurova. Kurova goes down. Numbers even down. There goes the tackle away. Kalush out of position now, not into the ultimate. Does manage to get back there. Well done on taking that height and owning it, as they are going to retake this space here. I'm not sure for how long, as Gasklin going to take out Kalush and Aramori. Wow, really well done.
That was well played. That was 2 minutes off the clock from Sentinels. Still good. Really good.
Portals are available. Look, Gasklin's going for the portal block too now. Or just on to somebody that's up back. I guess you can't portal block on this map, right? Because you can just walk out of top. I don't know. We'll see. Maybe he's looking for Kalush, who's going to portal. Maybe they don't portal. Looks like they don't portal, so they know they just have to walk up now. Gasklin, the rest of the team of FlyQuest looking to close it out now.
They're going to trap somebody. They're gonna trap somebody.
Cancel. Not a bad idea.
Oh, they didn't do it. Never mind.
Right? You got to be prepared. Probably had eyes on the scoreboard just to see if this
That would have been a sick.
and actually, sorry, excuse me, Kaluj obviously still on track. There goes the Eye of Agamotto from Kaluj. Nice. Are able to find one here as Zealous goes down. Light, though, turns it around. Armori and Sparchy taking out Hogs. Once again, back with Rymazing getting one. Light going to turn that on Kaluj, though. It's just back and forth here. Now we just got to find out whose next pick is going to be the game potential winner here. And yeah, Rymazing really well done, but Cooper turned that on and Gomez. This is just so back and forth. It's anyone's fight.
Rymazing, good fucking stall. They did not lose, baby.
Cancel last time. Kaluj right back on the point, and Sentinels still kind of all right in this position.
I don't know how. Look how
wow. Good job. Holy fuck.
Right at the very end, in a minute left to go,
Ryan just absolutely owned right there. They thought they won. I think FlyQuest thought they won. I don't even think they realized there was a fucking Namor on point.
We'll see how Sentinels deals with it.
1 minute.
They need to build up their ultimates, maybe get huge Gomez ult. I don't know, with 50 seconds left, anything's possible.
Yeah, this is really anyone's game. Sentinel's doing a great job here. We talked about Rymazing, obviously, during the break. The Namor held that.
Will FlyQuest choke under the pressure?
A really well done
they big ult.
By Rymazing, finding 2 picks, still holding on to not having to use his defensive cooldown, so just a hold point until Venom got back.
Holy fuck.
After. Just a really well done job. Gomez trying to find some sort of early pick. There goes the dunk, but the bubble's out.
Holy fuck.
Gomez with the early pick. This could be massive for them. The meatball's up in the sky. Medium looking for somebody. No luck there, but here comes a scary.
Holy fuck!
He does it! He does it!
Aramori has ult. Rymazing Whale! Let's go! They won. Holy shit, they won. What a fucking clutch. What a fucking clutch. Oh my god.
Now it's just going to be a stagger fest. Can anyone touch, or is this going to go on the side of Sentinels, showcasing that it was never over, and they take home map 3. 0, 2, 1.
That's it. Honestly, in my opinion, that would have sealed the deal. If FlyQuest would have won that, they would have won 3-1. I think FlyQuest is going to be tilted. They're going to be pissed, and Sentinels is just going to walk free and get this next map.
Clutch Gene, you know, it's
holy fucking fuck. Good job from Rymazing. Jesus.
Who shows up? Who is showing up? And I'll tell you what.
I mean, honestly, just well played from Sentinels. Just literally well played from every single person on Sentinels.
Let's do it right back at them.
It still blows my mind.
To make it happen, Rymazing.
It still blows my mind that they don't play Hella. But hey,
you know, they showed us, they proved us wrong. You don't necessarily need the Hella, I guess, especially when you have that Namor Wolverine. It was, I mean, these games are blowing my mind. They're just so back and forth. Every single team fight, if you look at the kill feed, it's just red, blue, red, blue, red, blue, red, blue. It's never a sweep. I don't understand how they're always coming on top here, at least in that team fight.
Yeah, I mean, this might be our closest game of the day, and that's saying a lot. I mean, I feel like earlier, Rad Esports Nightmare is also super close, but, you know, coming into this one, with how many matches have been so tight, right? It's wonderful to see these two teams compete and just go back and forth, and also for Sentinels to figure out something that's not playing the Hella, like you said, just to play that Namor. You know, teams earlier, I don't remember who it was, but there was like a full dive team that even countered a Hella Namor.
I was right. This is going to end at 11. This was probably last match. Probably.
Something like that, but
maybe.
Sentinels are obviously a team that know how to play against that, like we saw earlier. So, you know, right now, Sentinels kind of put themselves at an edge right now to go on map series or map point. That'd be huge, too, especially when it's the upper bracket versus 100 Thieves to get that rematch from last week.
Yeah, I mean, it's just safety, right? Security. It goes back to that discussion we talked about where it's like, if you have the ability to still lose a game and come back, that's you know, that's awesome. You play a little more aggressive. You don't have to stress too hard. And when you have that in the back of your mind, that security, I just feel like you're willing to take maybe some more risks on comps. You're willing to try something that you're not like sure about. I mean, you know, you mentioned before, and one thing I want to bring up, at Fly, they did during.
Is it over? No.
The Spider-Man Venom into the Bucky Namor.
I have a feeling 100 Thieves is going to win this whole tournament.
In my opinion,
shocker, I know, but I think they will.
Able to at least almost get through point 2 against that composition, which I can't imagine was easy. So, you know, it's that conversation we're saying, like them trying that and them being more confident in these random picks and these picks, these team comps that they want to be more aggressive.
Yes.
Seemingly work for them. So this is just an absolute blast to watch. And
what have you done?
Talk about more of this. Let's check out the highlights from that game.
If I did, I definitely wouldn't do this. But because I don't, maybe it'll incentivize people to donate if it all goes to my mods. Because they don't want to donate to me, right? They don't want to donate to me. But if the donations go to my mods, they'll probably donate. So we're setting that up. We are setting that up. We will. My mods will get paid somehow. One way or the other, they will.
Yeah, Sentinels
We're working on it.
now put themselves on map point in this upper bracket, in the semifinals of this upper bracket. So close out now will be huge because this is the biggest tournament we've had yet.
Me when I lie. No, I'm serious.
The prize pool, so, you know,
I don't listen.
This is no small amount.
I make about $50 to $100 a month from donations. If I change my method and I make my donations go to my mods, we can probably generate at least a couple thousand a month. And then that'll be split amongst my mods, and at least they get something. They get some sort of kickback. That's pretty cool. The only tricky part is I have a lot of mods, and how do I determine who gets what or how much percent or how that works? That is no matter how that goes, it's going to create some sort of internal drama in some way. So I'm going to try to do it as cleanly as possible, but we'll see. Unless I can make it a system where like the donation, like the person chooses who to donate to or something. I don't know. That's kind of fair, I guess. Like they choose who they want to donate that to. But the problem is people are simple and they're lazy. So once you get a choice and you see like, instead of just clicking the donate button, they'll see a donate button and then they'll see like a list and they'll be like, who do you want to donate to? That's already one too many steps. They just want to click the donate button and instantly just boom, it's there. So yeah. Deathmatch every month for the whole pot. What the fuck? My mods are crazy. In real life, or I do a monthly stream where all of my mods deathmatch for the whole pot. They play Counter-Strike, free for all. Holy shit, that'd be so funny. If people can choose, why not just let them Venmo directly? Bro, you're adding way too many steps, man. People want to do stuff in the fastest way possible. That's way too complicated.
Over to our bans right now. I mean, you know,
ban Hella.
Wouldn't be a surprise to finally see the Hella ban from Sentinels. I do think that's a smart pick. I mean, you know, they showcase they don't need it, right? But I think that might shake up who the side of Fly picks off here too.
The Thing first ban, interesting, to counter a potential Groot. Groot Protect can still come through though shit because of this. I mean, this is obviously, compared to other series, we're seeing, oh, wait, FlyQuest protected Groot this time to counter.
Yeah, you know, I put the caster curse on it, said we hadn't seen Groot yet, and there we go. He's locked in. We're going to be probably seeing him on both sides. Just a really strong Vanguard right now. Ton of damage output, and those walls are just LOS denying and stopping things like Hella, although Hella's gone now, are just very valuable. They are going to lock in and keep Kurova's Atom. You know,
Let's see
really
Hawkeye.
strong pick on the side of Sentinels. Saw a ton of value there, able to help contest that range against Hella. So maybe these bans, I think these bans may go in the side of Sentinels. I think that we'll see, you know, I'm actually not sure. You said Hogs plays a fair amount of the Groot, so I think we might see a switch here from what they're showcasing now, but not sure what the final ban's going to be. Maybe Loki?
Well, they've been banning Star-Lord against the Atom, I guess, because you have to respect it, I think. The Loki was definitely a shot if you like. I think that's what they're deciding, right? They're probably deciding between the Loki or, in this case, the Star-Lord, because it's like, Light, do you think you can match in terms of this matchup between Sentinels? Because they love to play that. Either they play the triple strategist, the Star-Lord alongside to support it, or they just try to play the Loki. So, I mean, obviously going to give up in this case on that. And now you're going to give Hogs that Groot if he really wants it. I mean, he knows how to play it. So does Spark Chief on FlyQuest side.
Do you think Light staying on the penny here? I think this is a really strong penny map. Yeah, I think so. Well, I'd love to see that, but
he's probably gonna do what he did like in the last map, where he just plays for like a team fight, similarly to what 100 Thieves does.
Why while I'm in GM, every comp ban is Namor Bucky in full dive. Then I see this comp and it's completely the opposite. How do high-end lobbies deal with an unkillable Venom while Spidey has 40+ kills and Psylocke insta-kills healers? Nobody's getting insta-killed in high-end lobbies because the supports are watching. Everybody's aware of what's happening and when they're going to strike. Everybody's got good timings. They're going to protect each other. They're going to heal each other. Instant kills aren't going to happen as much. Unfortunately, GM is a pretty casual rank, and there isn't a very good set of skill in that rank. So you're just going to unfortunately have to deal with that, which sucks.
And they do get crystaled out of the fight. Are going to just hold on. Gasman holding that tight angle. And we are going to see a stall as nothing major happening yet. Gomez trying to get a pick. Does get the passive burn early there on the Wolverine. So let's continue with fight 2 as these, at this point, cooldowns are just being wasted. Now it's just about this first pick.
Yeah, it's interesting that Hogs actually just sticking towards that Magneto instead of the Groot. I was sort of thinking maybe Groot.
Energy on Rocket is probably the craziest thing I've seen this tournament. What the fuck is this? Energy on Rocket.
Armory with a nice pick there, immediately going to copy up. Just get ready to hold on to this all. A lot of people don't know this, but you can actually wait as long as possible. You can wait 16 seconds, I believe, on the Loki or something along those lines before you pop ultimate. Then it will reset the timer that you have so you can get the full ultimate on who you are copying. So manages to take advantage of that now. Gets to sleep early. Gets a pick off it. Really well done there by Rymazing. Early on to take out Energy.
It's interesting. Rymazing is more the way he plays Mantis is he's more focused on damage than using his leaves. He's like not even like overcomplicating it. He's not overcomplicating it and throwing a bunch of leaves. He's just doing damage.
Yeah, sticking with this triple strategist composition, Kaluj scouting as well over the top side. Meanwhile, Energy is going to swap over to the Namor alongside this Luna Snow for that team up. We'll see how that pans out for them. 2 minutes left to go. They're going to try to come back for a recontest.
Yeah, it is going to be the start here. They tried to cancel portals. What was going to happen? Unfortunately, again, not happening. You know, that's that mind game with Strange. You see a lot. Spark Chief trying to get some space. Ultimate, unfortunately, into a shield. Not able to get a ton. Still getting value as down goes.
They're back. It's all good. It's all good. Not a problem.
Instantaneously by Kurova. The fight's still even. And just 2 ultimates have been used. Again, back in the favor. Here, Kurova ult out. Kaluj very close. Hogs at about 70%.
Okay, Energy went Namor. Thank God.
Forced to be reckoned with. Dives it into the back line. Down goes Gaskin. Gomez with an early pick, but it immediately gets turned around to Zelos. Takes out Gomez. Right.
Not Groot. Luna, yes.
Still holding on, and we're going to be seeing 2 dance floors.
Okay, another dance floor. Here comes the Ava. Got a little 4-6. Kaluj comes
no
back.
way.
Able to get the elimination on the light before the dance floor can even reach him. Kurova also with some follow through.
Wait, he died in his ult? Wait, what? I think he died before he could ult. Like, he ulted, he copied, but he didn't use the actual ult from FlyQuest side.
Regardless,
that really sucks.
I kind of left some on the table, like FlyQuest did. They went for Spark Chief's Groot ultimate, the Strangling Prison. It was on the cart, like you said. It found those 2 eliminations. But Kurova, I think what 100 Thieves would have done is they would have pushed towards.
He did ult?
Warlock. They would have made sure he's
but he died.
Can't get that res off, and because Kurova was given so much space, able to get that huge res and kept them into the fight.
Yeah, it's difficult when you do hear that res.
Unless I missed it, but he died while ulting, I swear to God. Or before, I don't know. That's what it looked like.
Not a lot of space, not a lot of survivability. Obviously, Kurova likely holding on to those cooldowns for heals to try to, just absolutely burst the team back into fighting shape. But we weren't able to see it. They did have to hold on to point. I think it's a little bit of that.
Jesus Christ. Levolution. Battlefield 5. I was going to say 4, but that already exists. Battlefield 5 also exists too. Never mind. Battlefield 6.
Not get shielded this time, but still able to find somebody as light goes down, energy goes down. Kurova gonna res up. Kaluj and Gomez again back into the fight, and this res comp is terrifying to go against.
I think they're just giving way too much space right now. Also, walls come through. Nice job to push away. One,
Wow, that was clean.
save energy from getting pushed off the map.
That was clean.
The kidnap is into the prison, into the pit, and now here comes an Eye of Agamotto delayed. The support is there to keep them alive, but the last stand is what to bring Light back. And Gaslin, I mean, a bit too late, buddy. Could potentially connect on the Gomez, but at this point, you're losing ultimates and you're still down a person.
Yeah, I think it was to try to help shut down Wolverine, but unfortunately, obviously, eating the damage doesn't stop Wolverine's melee range, and that is going to be a nice pick. Right, amazing, showcase how strong Mantis can be in the right hands. Mantis, a terrifying strategist to go up again. Push right off, but no, get at the dash. There goes the passive early, down goes Light. Hogs doing a good job, making sure he's finding a ton of damage out there, and they are going to be up on numbers by 1. Ultimate advantage on the favor of Fly. Here comes the Whale, and oh, they can combo right now with Groot Whale. Will this work for him to hold on to this point?
Here comes. Here comes. He can't do it now. No way.
Oh no, not close enough. Those crystals. Here comes that Whale with ultimate as well, or to follow it up, but unfortunately not enough support. They needed Cooper to stay alive with the
Well, this is looking like what I said. If FlyQuest would have found a way to win that last game, if FlyQuest would have found a way to win that last game, I think they would have ran with that momentum. But I think I don't know. I think FlyQuest was pissed that they lost that last map. Haven't had a full reset yet, you know?
Use those Loki crystals until that was happening. Got literally no value out of 2 ultimates just by using an ability and not an ultimate. Could not be more valuable onto the side.
I mean, FlyQuest is still not doing bad. It's just
does not connect as we don't see one go down from Meteor M. And here comes Kalush trying to take this face back as all of these ultimates have not found any purchase. Kalush trying to find
oh my God, he lives. The boy who lived.
Not finding a ton of value on the side of Fly as they just got to retake this space. Good work there.
Come back to die.
Again, numbers back in the favor of Sentinels when they likely still have some reses up ready for action.
Yeah, FlyQuest seems a bit disoriented right now, leaving Cooper now in the dust after the copy. I mean, you could potentially find somebody. They're relying heavily off of energy, and you can see exactly why I have Agamotto to follow it up. Hogs also has
50.
A giant meteor over the top to slam down into Zelos, and I mean, this is clinical right now. Fly are kind of all over the place.
Gomez is, gotta land the Wolverine right now. Really well done there with the last stand to get some early.
That's a lot of extra time, too.
Gonna follow up, and that should be enough to drive them in and get the full 3 points.
Aye.
Yeah, to be honest, I don't.
They need a Harry Potter game like this.
So lost right now because
there's no way you just ask for a hero shooter Harry Potter game. That's crazy. That's
they played against it very well. They understood how to play against
how?
It. But now
how would that even work?
Light is getting picked off a few times. Energy's not finding the value on the Namor really right now, and obviously the timing got mixed up with Energy not having that damage boost alongside the Luna Snow. Then on that third phase, Light went for an ill-advised, really early last.
I am blamed Snape, that's for sure.
And it all just crumbled after that, man. So right now, FlyQuest, I mean, they kind of need to regroup. I think they can, but that was a bit of a mental shatterer in terms of that hold.
Yeah, I'm with you, right? It's just, it's just a confidence thing. It's just so back and forth momentum, man. You know how momentum works in hero shooters. It's very important, and you can tell right now Sentinels have that momentum. They're surfing on that wave, and they're going to ride this thing through and try to end this series right now. She's saying that, it was never out of our hands, right? It's all about that confidence. We had.
I main Neville Longbottom. Like, no. Level
of play, you can see
there's just no way.
Showing up in the moment, and
I don't want to hear that.
Look like they have their footing back on that triple support comp, really showing how strong it can be in the right hands.
Yeah. And this all also comes back to the banning of the Hela, right? Making sure energy's off of that character onto the Namor. I mean, he's still solid on it, but not as dominant as he once was.
Yeah, I do think you're right. I do think the Hela ban was very important. Honestly, I just think they were finding a ton of value with it, and it just showcased 2 games in a row. So Here we go again with the early usage of cooldowns. Nothing major being popped yet. He's going to hold on to that dark magic. Just going to expel it to not get antsied. Smart play there as we hold on. Going to use this point for natural cover. Wait till they get around this bend so you have a little more of the cover in your advantage early on. It's tough to start that fight. Hog's a little bit damaged up. There goes Crystals. Armory forced to use that cooldown. That's a win over on the side of FlyQuest. Still maintaining positioning. Armory different though. Going to take out Light. Light is actually on the Storm. I didn't even notice the switch up, which I like to see as well. Korova gonna take out Zelos in the back. Great shots there by Korova, showcasing how strong Warlock can be in as a strategist or even as a duelist in the right hands.
Wow, no way.
Yeah, I mean, I like the
They're getting smoked.
idea from FlyQuest. They know that Sentinels
I mean, it was only a minute, but still.
Strategist just trying to get that AoE damage, trying to get a little bit of speed. There's a lot of things Storm can bring to the table, but I don't know if it's going to bring Wolverine down into your team. You know, there's a lot that Sentinels are bringing to the table right now. Have so many ultimates also coming up.
Yeah, it's tough to run group comp when the Wolverine is on the table. The scratching post, if you will, it's a scary thing to deal with. Oh, here comes
good layup.
Crystals again, incredibly well done. Armory popping all out of the sky. See ya. Down goes Light. Hogs with an awesome Meteor M directly into Light.
Let's get another Hogs interview, you know? Actually, no, they should get some different players. Get like Ryan Amazing or something.
So not much to defend against it. Korova does have res and does have likely bond to keep the team up. So we'll see how that looks into the tornado, but that should be good value right now.
It should be. And unfortunately, the squids of energy just keep getting deleted every time they come out. Now here comes that Storm ultimate. Like you said, it's going to be matched by that res if necessary, and all the crystals. Gomez somehow doesn't go down even without the passive.
Storm ult.
Light the one to fall, just a bit too far away from the
solid
team.
stuff.
And now Sentinels set themselves up for success on defense so far.
Right, amazing, showcasing the Mantis damage. I mean, Mantis is scary, just absolutely raining damage into Light. Light making the
minute
switch here
30.
Wolverine after the Storm play. Noticing it's very difficult with
Not-
Bond and Crystals, even
not
without
looking
ultimates
good
to
for
make something
FlyQuest.
happen with that tornado, which I do respect. As at this point, we've got a
Interview
minute on the
Kalush.
clock, and they have yet to get out of this early choke.
Nah, interview Ryan Amazing, dude. Let's get Ryan Amazing up there.
The big ultimate from Gaskin that can change, flip on its head. Also, Zelos is over. They're over to the triple strategist composition. It's tough to flank on this map, so they've just opted into mirroring and Light taking advantage of it. Hogs can get removed Agamo to the other side, but it's met by Cooper, so Gaskin not going to connect necessarily with his own Meteor M. And also, at the moment, Armory and Sentinels actually have the edge with the strategist ultimates.
The fuck? How did that miss?
Again, just applying pressure. Ryan Amazing falling off, taking out energy. Light gonna drop Gomez back and forth. Energy gonna rest back up. Now on the Mantis as well. Spark Chief taking out Ryan Amazing, and it does look like this is heading back towards their direction, but it is still such a far push. Spark Chief gonna take out Korova. Ryan Amazing gonna res back up. Energy gonna drop Aramori. Just so many. The res comps for days. Everybody coming back into the fight. It's difficult to know numbers at this point as Korova's in a dangerous position. Down goes Korova. Light.
They died, they res.
Fly does have the positioning. They might try to counter teleport just to buy them some more time, or at least hold off the zone. Kalush gonna definitely teleport the team back.
Wait, this is good. This is actually really good for FlyQuest.
Knowing that they're trying to counter, we'll see what it looks
They're
like.
not TPing though. Never mind. Wait, are they?
At the
No, they're
moment,
not.
triple
Or-
strategist on this map definitely can be strong, considering the flank angles are way harder to take, way closer angles. Overall,
Oh, they got cut off. They got cut off.
so you can sneak by it.
No way.
I like the
FlyQuest
decision
might
there.
win
I
this.
think it did hold some. I'm not-
The portal's
oh,
still
they're
up. Portal's still up. They need to get a kill. They need something now. Portal's about to go down. Portal's about to go down. Get one more kill, and they actually are they're in the money.
Is able to take out Aramori as well. The res though immediately. Korova.
They can't.
Res out early. Zelos
Well.
gonna get res or is gonna res as well. Light gonna take out Kalush. It's so back and
They're
forth
all,
here
dude.
on
What
reses.
the
It's
fucking
difficult.
Adam reses? Everybody's dead. Everybody died, and then they came right back, bro.
Trying to find one.
What is this
He's gonna
shit?
tackle Kalush.
Fuck
Here
the.
comes
Oh, GG.
Bang!
GG.
Takes out Cooper. Zelos. Down goes Gaslit. Spark Chief. Zelos gonna res back, but it may not matter as Hawks takes out Light. And I think Sentinels are gonna end this right now and take home the W.
Oh my God, Adam Warlock.
3-1. We'll be taking it down.
All right,
FlyQuest
Ryan Amazing,
maintain
please get him up
themselves
there.
at the top of the
Get him up there.
board. themselves in that upper bracket. Shib, you know, considering how things went.
I thought
last
FlyQuest
week,
was
they
going to
gotta
win,
feel
and
good
then I
about it.
forgot Adam Warlock existed.
Yeah,
So,
that looks really good.
hell yeah.
That is what you want to see as a Sentinels fan. You know, flying
Yes,
show some love to them,
W
playing an
MVP.
incredible
The
series,
coolest
but,
one in the fucking game.
unfortunately not able to make it happen. But yeah,
Holy
Sentinels,
shit,
that
that's aura
third
right
game
there.
really showcased their comfort. Look
That
at
is
stat line
aura
across
right
the board.
there.
I mean, Kalush 30-3, 35-4, Hogs, Gomez 28-7, 11 picks on the side, or 12 on Hogs, showcasing a masterclass and throwing that Meteor M. I loved seeing the storm fall out of the sky. Amazing, just 28-2, 17k damage.
That was a 10-hour session, by the way. That was 10 hours of matches, or 9 hours or something, right?
2k is insane.
Yeah.
That is disgusting. With 9 final hits as well, the team just as a whole played great.
Yeah, I think this composition, this triple strategist comp is I definitely underestimated it. I mean, coming onto that map, I don't know. I guess what are you gonna do when you're playing Namor?
New World hype.
So slow to set up these flanks, so slow to get those one shots, and also, I don't know. They just gave so much space to Kuroba. It's hard not to though. Like you said, he was able to do
4
so much
hours of
damage on that
timers.
Backline. Nobody could really
Yeah,
count on him.
probably.
I
It was
mean,
probably 4
Kuroba, I
hours
don't
of
know if
waiting. Yeah.
FlyQuest's like confidence was shattered for their dive comp. We've definitely seen that comp sort of work versus triple strategist at points, but obviously for them, they opted to stick towards energy playing the Namor, and it just they're wanting to switch to triple strategist happened too late.
Yeah,
So
I
the
feel like it
bracket
depends on the triple
is
strategist. It's difficult to dive into this specific
Sentinels
triple
100
strategist. Loki's
Thieves
got crystals,
in the
Kuroba
upper
on the
bracket
Warlock's got
final
Bond. It's just
to
so
get to the
hard
grand
to get a pick
final.
when both of those abilities are ready at any given moment. You even saw it with
Nightmare
the Storm
versus
Tornado there.
FlyQuest,
Like,
Envy
you
versus
can't-
Shikigami
you
in
can't
lowers.
do anything about it. I mean, they popped both, and at that point they just looked at the storm and took light right out. So
Sentinels could
but
make it.
sometimes
This
you're right,
could
like,
be
so
their
in
time to win and get to the
specific,
grand finals.
Three
This could be
comps,
it.
the dive can be strong.
This
But
could
one,
be
I felt
it.
was very hard for them, so maybe that's why they didn't make the switch.
Yeah, it was really hard. I think that this comp as well benefits probably from maps, right? It's definitely map dependent in my opinion, because
Is
if
this
we look at
finishing
Midtown,
tonight?
the
Bro,
ranges are so
what?
long, the
9
flank
hours?
angles are
Hell
much
no.
wider. I don't know if that's just because
This
how
will
maps
finish
are
over the
evolving and
weekend.
stuff and they're getting
Tomorrow
longer and
will
longer,
be,
but
I think,
at
4
least
more
with the newer
matches.
maps,
Tomorrow's
it
going to
feels
be.
like hella, like Namor, they have a lot more room to sort of flank and stuff. But
Tomorrow's
when you look at
probably
that
gonna be
past
what?
map, we go to Tokyo, like I
Lower-
don't know, man. There's no
Lower,
real
both lower
angles to
bracket
run Fire
matches
Island. There's
and then the
there's
upper
no
bracket
easy
match.
spots to go on Namor. I mean, we saw Energy try to flank like through the
Actually, I don't know.
side
What will
on
tomorrow
attack
be?
and didn't get anything done. On defense as well, was not really able to do much. I mean, Kuroba was just sort of safe the whole time. Same thing with the rest of these strategists. So whether that's due to Kalush just doing a lot, I don't really know.
Lower?
In my opinion, I would imagine this composition is definitely best
I don't know.
on like maps like Spider
Actually.
Island or whatever.
Yeah, I can agree with that 100%.
I think it's going to be lowers. I think it's going to be lower bracket quarters and lower bracket semi, plus the upper bracket final to see who's in the grand.
For sure, but I'm with you that it's like nothing like Yggdrasil
And then
where you can be a mile away.
Sunday
and just, picking people
would
off
be
the
lower
hill,
bracket
filming
final,
people
grand
like
final.
crazy. So I do think triple strategist works really well on this kind of map where everybody's just within.
Oh
the
yeah,
line of
it
sight,
says the
and
time.
Your job now is just to try to provide those CCs, use those cooldowns to maximum advantage, and if you keep doing that over, and you keep finding value out of those
Yeah, okay.
cooldowns like Bond and Crystals and Sleep, even we saw some big plays there.
I was right. Let's see the interview.
Landing sleeps and then getting picks, because you can actually
Let's see it.
play Mantis, and a lot of people know this, but for those who don't, when you play Mantis, you actually have a small window where you're able to deal damage before the sleep even really takes effect after it's landed. So you can actually land your sleep, throw 2 headshots in prior to even hitting them again for a 3rd headshot, and then they wake up. So it's really time-oriented and skill-oriented if you're able to pull that off, but it's virtually an immediate takedown if you're good with that sleep. So another huge cooldown.
Yeah, and he's
I need to see this
constantly
interview.
leveling up.
I need
like how
to.
You mentioned that with Rye. I mean, he obviously understands those mechanics to a very high level. Was so consistent as well throughout the entire map. I think previously when we saw this triple strategist comp with Rye Amazing on the Mantis, I don't know if there was as many standout plays per se, but today Rye was definitely making his presence on the Mantis, and so were the rest of the squad. So it's still up in the air. I think in terms of meta, Shib, I feel like I've learned more, but it's almost like I don't know about you, but it feels like the meta is like expanding still. Like it's kind of crazy how each comp is just so strong currently.
Yeah, there's times where I'm like, okay, I could see the
Red
issues
Bull
with this
wants
comp,
hogs.
right? And then the next game I see it, I'm like, okay, this comp is disgusting. You know what I mean? Like, it really just depends on. It must be map dependent. It's got to be map dependent. It's got to be you know, comp dependent bans. You know, your locks in what the opposing team is running. Obviously, you know, that's self-explanatory. But realistically, like,
I'm fucking
really,
tired.
You know,
I didn't do anything but watch.
Strong comps, and I'm seeing.
But I'm actually
ways
tired.
around it now that maybe I didn't think about before.
Yeah, definitely learning a lot throughout the series. I'm sure a lot of the viewers at home are as well. Gonna wait for an interview with Korova in just a little bit, Shib, so I'm sure we'll have a lot of questions.
I still
for
never
him,
received my Twitch drop. My Adam Warlock Twitch drop, I don't know where it went. It went into La La Land. I never got it. I haven't gotten any Twitch drop in Marvel Rivals. What the fuck was that?
I swear we've seen at least like 10, 11,
What did I
12,
just... How did I just do that? Was that my history or something? I don't know how I did that. Was that a hockey? I opened up Marvel Rivals. That was cool.
These two teams, Mutants and Nightmares,
What's the hockey for that?
Sentinels and 100 Thieves.
Control
They
tab?
just won't stop playing against each other.
I have no clue.
Just Rams bashing their heads into each other. You know, I love it though. It's, you know, and I think the chat loves it too. Stuff like that. But you mentioned storylines.
Reconnect through the Marvel Rival website.
Storylines right now in the MRI, and I personally support it. I love to see this back and forth.
It's probably not a bad idea.
You know, very competitive games. I'm looking forward to that happening here. The comp changes, still seeing some more of these surprises. I liked Fly was trying to change it up a little bit. We saw some unique picks there, saw some good plays and some different comps that were unique, and some of which found some pretty good value, especially in certain takes. And obviously, you know, they switched up later. But the games today, man. I mean, before we get into this interview, I just got to say these games today have been mind-blowing. I've been having, it doesn't even feel like 2 a.m. You know, it feels like the middle of the day. Just have had so much fun being a part of this experience with you, man. And I'm looking forward to seeing more of this.
Oh yeah, 100% Shib. No, I'm glad to have you part of it, man. It's been fun for real. And you know, I think that today specifically, at least in terms of overall days, I feel like we usually get like, you know, okay, there's at least one sweep, right? For sure.
Yeah.
And you brought it up. It just feels like today was just constantly, you know, tough match after tough match, and I'm sure a lot of the players are going to be exhausted after today. You know, obviously
I'm exhausted. I didn't even fucking play.
Tomorrow, we can talk about this later, but I feel like momentum-wise, when you have a day like today where every game is like close, the next day usually just like sweeps or whatever. I don't want to like obviously pull into the future, but usually there's at least like one sweep. Today, no. Like we had 100 Thieves play a close match. Every team was close. So I don't know. What does that say about tomorrow? I feel like tomorrow is the biggest unknown in Marvel Rivals esports history, at least in North America.
Yeah, I know these teams are talking right now. They're definitely having discussions. I think what every team has done, which, you know, you think it's self-explanatory around, like, you know, scrims. Every team learns each other's comps and understands what needs to change. But I feel like when you're in the moment like this, when you see how you play, when the pressure's on, and when it actually means something with like a monetary value, or just in terms of like, you know, a fan base and wanting to show up in the moment, like it's just a different game. And I think teams are now learning what's working for them in that situation and not just behind closed doors. And I think that's showing when we talk about people are just getting W's today, even when it was unexpected. And that shows you that it can happen, and maybe a full series can go in a way that you don't expect. But yeah, I mean, we've got a lot more stuff like this to talk about over these next 2 days. But before we dive into more,
this will look great on our show.
Absolutely, just pops off, especially when Warlock's in his hands.
That's pretty good.
Korova, how you doing today, man? Good to talk to you. How you been?
I'm doing well.
Korova!
Man, you're an absolute demon out there today. I guess the first thing I've got, I mean, I could talk to you all day, but the main thing I'd ask is, first off, love you when you're playing. You're just a nasty Warlock, but you guys don't ban Hela. Is that more so like on the Warlock to try to match that, or you guys just don't feel like you need it in your comps?
When we don't ban Hela with the Warlock, it's more of like a playstyle difference with the Adam Warlock. I don't necessarily think it's like a role where you can necessarily match the Hela because she has so much util and so much stun. We're kind of just playing for a different win condition, and Adam kind of suits like multiple win conditions, so it kind of fits into our compositions quite nicely.
Absolutely, I get that.
Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Wait, is he playing from home?
Good to see you. I know we've been
wait, he's not on land
for so many freaking years now, and it's cool to see you finally here in the interview, man. So